Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes, they survived and they won. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Buffs, your daily podcast on the Colorado Buffaloes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Buffs. I am your host, Kevin Borba, and this is a postcast of the Colorado Buffaloes' victory against the North Dakota State Bison. It was a tight one, and we're going to talk about everything that went down. But first, this episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. 5 Hour Energy fixes tired fast. With zero sugar and a convenient portable size, it's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. Go to 5hourenergy.com and use promo code LOCKEDONCFB to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. Sorry about that, a little mute there. Let's dive back in. This episode is brought to us by 5 Hour Energy. It fixes tired fats with zero sugar and a convenient portable size. It's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. Go to 5hourenergy.com and use promo code LOCKEDONCFB to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. Go to 5hourenergy.com. Sorry about that little microphone issue, but we are back and we are talking about it for real this time. And let's talk about everything that I noticed during this game because there was a lot. Obviously, the big storylines, new coaches, new players. There's almost 50 new players on this team, both new coordinators, right? And so who was up to snuff, who wasn't up to snuff? Well, let me give you the quick breakdown of the game and how I thought it went. Realistically, we had Zach McKinnell on the show yesterday. He's our FCS insider. He told us exactly what North Dakota State was going to do. He told us, he said, they're going to score and then they're going to try to kill you with time of possession. And oh boy, did they. They had the ball for 36 minutes total. Colorado only had it for 23. And they were efficient. It was looking a little rough at first. The Colorado defense couldn't stop the run game. The Colorado offense was matching what North Dakota State was doing, but North Dakota State, you could tell, was not overwhelmed by Colorado. They were not overwhelmed by the moment, there's this narrative that, they're an FCS program, so they're not ready for the moment. Yeah, they were ready for it. They showed up and looked like a team who had won 9 titles since 2011. Like that's what they did. You know, their quarterback didn't make many mistakes. I'm looking at his stat line right now over on Stat Broadcast. He had 18 of 22 for 277 yards, 1 touchdown, 82% completion percentage. The other quarterback threw 2 passes for 15 yards. They were combined 20 of 26. Rushing wise, they had the team 43 carries for 157 yards, 3.7 yards per carry. So Colorado, they weren't running all over them. I think they were just persistent enough to where, they ran the ball 43 times. So when you run the ball that much, things are going to happen. That's just how it goes. And then you look at Colorado and Shedeur Sanders, 26 of 34, 445 yards. Amazing game for him. 4 touchdowns, 1 very fluky interception. If you guys didn't see it, he literally the defender falls. Shedeur probably forces a pass. I don't know where the ball would have gone if it didn't hit the defender. Defender falls, though, and it hits his foot. He kicks it up right to his teammate, and North Dakota State gets the ball back. So they go into the half leading. It was 20 to 17. And this is something that I talked about, and most of my guests that have come on the show and talked about North Dakota State have also said as well. Formulated this message that Colorado needed to stay strong. That was my big concern. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Colorado team last year does not win this game. The Colorado team last year gets a little bit rattled. They're like, we're kind of losing to an FCS team right now. We're going to have a meltdown. We're going to have a meltdown. I think the Colorado team of 2023 loses this game. I don't want to say that this is a new era of Colorado football. I'm not going to say that, because they held on and beat a FCS team, granted a really good one, that this is going to be the year, right? But I do think that shows dramatic improvement, I think those Navy SEAL workouts this offseason, I think the team bonding that Coach Prime has put an emphasis on after saying that he didn't care if the team liked each other last year. I think all of the offseason work, all of the lessons they accumulated from the 2023 season, I think we saw that today, right? I think we could all agree that they showed resiliency. And that was one of my biggest concerns, my biggest questions, my biggest what ifs about this team was if they get punched in the mouth, would they be able to bounce back, win a game, and hold on? And so realistically, they did all those things. They were able to hold on. A couple people that deserve a shout out, obviously. I already shouted out Shador Sanders. He had over 445 yards, completed 76% of his passes. You got to look at Jimmy Horn Jr. I don't think he'll get enough talk because he didn't have all the touchdowns, but he did almost have 200 yards receiving. But it was Travis Hunter with the 3 touchdowns. The last one was like a one-handed grab kind of with the defender draped all over him. It was a great catch. He hit the little shimmy after. It was a great play. I look at this defense, right? Pass rush, not what I thought it was. Run defense and just overall attitude, much better than last year's unit. I'll say it that way. Penalties, Colorado had 3 defensively. Not bad. Last year they were among the most penalized teams in college football. So I'm not mad at what they showed in this game against North Dakota State. So you have to love it. Realistically, it's week 1, so you don't want to read too much into it. Like for everything, for every positive and negative. It's like, okay, let's pump the brakes, right? I think we learned last year to not get a little overzealous after Colorado wins early games because they were an exciting team the first 3 weeks last year. I think now they understand that this is a business job, or this is a business, right? This is a job. We can't just walk in, work the first 3 hours of the day, and all of a sudden it's like lunchtime hits and we're done for the day, right? That's not how it works. So I thought that was a really good improvement. I'm going to talk about what went right specifically and what went wrong. But first, we're going to take a quick little break. This episode of Locked On Buffs is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Are you tired after lunch? You're not alone, I promise you. In fact, research shows that more than 70% of us hit the wall after lunch. Let the 5 Hour Energy shot help you leap over that wall instead of crashing into it. With 0 sugar and a convenient portable size, it's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. The 5 Hour Energy website has flavors galore like watermelon, tropical burst, grape, berry, and more. There's a flavor for everyone. If you go to 5hourenergy.com, that's the number 5hourenergy.com, and get 5 Hour Energy product today, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONCFB, all caps, to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. This code is not good on subscription orders. Go to 5hourenergy.com and get a little lunch pick-me-up. Welcome back to our post-game recap. Colorado wins in a tight one, right? It's 31-26. I don't know if I said that earlier, but I should have. 31-26, and it was a solid game, I think, for the most part. There was a few things that kind of irked me. I was like, oh, that was very, very last year of you, Colorado. Very last year of you. For starters, I think there's two sore thumb things that stood out to me in the second half, which it sucks to say this because the second half was really good for the defense, I thought. You look at here, I'll give you a positive first, and then I'll dive right into the negative. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm just talking about what Colorado did well. They gave up 20 points in the first half, right? Held them to 6 in the fourth. Really good. Really good. The defense stepped up. That's a testament to Robert Livingston. That's a step up. Or that's a testament to their second half adjustments, right? Love that, right? We do. Let me preface that. We love that. What we don't love, okay? We can run the clock out. North Dakota State, I don't know if they had timeouts or if they were running out of timeouts, but time is expiring, and all of a sudden, we're throwing the ball. We're throwing the ball for no reason. Incomplete pass. What are we doing? Run the ball. Run the clock out. I know the run game wasn't as good as I was hoping or thought it would be, but kill the clock. I don't remember exactly if they had a timeout or not, but kill the darn clock. We know that they cannot afford to lose any time left on the clock. They needed to stop Colorado. And all of a sudden, we throw an incomplete pass, and then it's like, okay, so now we're going to give them the ball back. And they went down the field, and they scored, which, I mean, that was the defense did what they needed to do all second half. I'm not gonna hate on them for that. But this is exactly how this drive went. I pulled it up on my phone. So first down, we have a Travis Hunter sort of gain or We have a Travis Hunter run for no gain. Then we go LeJonte Wester, second down. North Dakota State takes a timeout. Then incomplete pass, and then but there was a penalty. So then it's 1st and 10, a minute and 41 seconds left. There was a pass interference on North Dakota State. Shedeur Sanders, 1st and 10, like I said, minute 41 left. Pass, incomplete. Then they run the ball, get stuffed. Then Colorado takes another timeout. Shedeur Sanders passes to Jimmy Horn, 7 yards. Colorado takes a timeout, 38 seconds left, or excuse me, they go 3rd and 10, then it's 4th and 3. That pass to LeJonte Wester was not needed. That was not needed. We don't need an incomplete pass there. Run the ball, take a knee, whatever you got to do, kill some clock. Don't let them don't let them get back in the game. Don't give them a chance and here's where the second issue went awry. Colorado's defense is kind of stopping them. I mean, they're in prevent, so they got to do what they got to do. It's the final drive of the game, so North Dakota State goes complete pass for 20 yards, incomplete pass, complete pass for 19 yards, incomplete pass. And we know what's going to happen, right? They're from the North Dakota State 47. And so it's like, okay, he has to throw the ball. He has to throw the ball downfield, right? All of our defensive backs, we're looking at this. We're looking at each other. We're making eye contact. We're going, okay, just bat this down, right? But just bat this down. Not a single person tried to bat it down. He threw it into a sea of people, which is expected. Not a single defender tried to bat it down. They're trying to go for the catch. Luckily, North Dakota, he caught it, but luckily he was tackled right away. That cannot happen. Travis Hunter said after the game, that cannot happen. And he's absolutely right. So those were the couple wrong things that went wrong. Or those were the couple things that I think went wrong. Realistically, I'm going to talk about a couple more things that I didn't love. The run game, I thought we'd get more out of them. 23 carries for 59 yards, 2.6 yards per carry. It's not the push I was hoping for from the offensive line. We get a brand new offensive line. And excuse me. It's just one of those things where I expected a lot more from the running backs. We did not get it. And it was a little concerning because it's like you want to be able to run the ball against the FCS team regardless of how good they can sort of defend. Sorry, my audio wants to cut out. I think it's all I don't know what it is. I think it's all the excitement in the live. We're just getting too pumped, but I'm back. Here we are. But what I was talking about, if it cut out again, was realistically, Colorado was not getting the push in the run game that I thought they were. That's what I was kind of summarizing when I cut out. They weren't getting the push I thought they were going to get. I was really expecting a lot more from the running game. To go over to rehash their stats, Colorado had 23 carries for 59 yards. In terms of how the offensive line held up, they only gave 1 sack, which is really good. Dramatic improvement from last year, because last year everyone was getting pressure. Everyone was getting pressure on this team, or on this quarterback, on this offensive line. So for them to only allow 1 sack, really good. Offensive line, not impressed in terms of the run game. I don't think this isn't going to be the end all be all for the starting lineup. We're going to see some changes. We're going to see some adjustments here or there. So make sure to sort of be patient, right? Nebraska's here next week, or Colorado's going to Nebraska next week. We know that Colorado is going to learn from this. They kind of have an advantage now. They have an extra Friday, Saturday, Sunday, everything changes for them. They got an extra few days to sort of look ahead. They got an extra few days to watch Nebraska and sort these problems out. And Pat Shurmur needs to figure out a little more strategic play calling. I definitely think his play calling let North Dakota State get the momentum in the second quarter. And I think his play calling at the end of the game was very costly, and he almost let North Dakota State stay in the game. Can't let that happen. So let's just be cognizant of that, Pat Shurmur. Be aggressive when it's warranted. Don't settle when it's not. Don't let teams get momentum and then all of a sudden all the pressure's on the offense. But hell of a game from Travis Hunter, from Shador Sanders. Hell of a second half from Colorado's defense. When we come back, I'm going to be talking about what they need to do better next week in order to win what will be a very, very interesting Nebraska game. This episode of Locked on Buffs is brought to you by our sponsors over at FanDuel. You've heard us talk about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, a lot. We've all had a lot of bets we want to place here and there, right? Well, we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and you get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV and YouTube. Then, with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday or every regular Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to download America's #1 sportsbook. This episode of Locked on Buffs is also brought to you by Factor. Fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So, no matter how busy you are, you always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from, every week you'll always have new flavors to experience. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage your calories, maximize protein, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/lockedoncollege50 and use code lockedoncollege50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code lockedoncollege50 at factormeals.com/lockedoncollege50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Go check out Factor Meals. They got some really great stuff. Welcome back to Locked on Buffs. This is our post-game recap, and let's just talk about it. I'll go through some of the comments and talk to you guys about what you guys, I'll go over what I see, what you guys think went wrong. We got the right side of the line not looking good, play caller not looking good. Yeah, I agree. I think if there was a weaker side of the line, I would probably say it's the right side, which is a little interesting. They went with Khalil Benson and Tyler Brown was at right tackle. Khalil Benson was at right guard. Not great. Jordan Seaton held up better than I thought he would. What else? Play calling. Yeah, I don't think Pat Shurmur. It's just like situational things, which I don't get with him. Like he's a former NFL head coach. I would expect more from him. And there was just moments where it's like, really, that's what we're doing. Like we're kind of just we're settling. We're laying up here, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, this is when we run the ball to kill the clock, and we're throwing the ball. It's like I get you're trying to hit a little kill shot, right? Like I mean, nothing would have killed Nebraska or North Dakota State more than a late touchdown, but that's not what the doctor ordered. The doctor ordered a little steady diet of running the ball to kill the clock. Let's get out of here, right? We don't want North Dakota State to get the ball at the end of the game. We don't. You know, they had shown earlier in the game that they could score. That's just what it is. So I need a little bit better play calling. The defense, I love the second half adjustments. Now it's just a matter of figuring out how to do that in the beginning of the game, which granted, it's a full new team. So you have to sort of give them the benefit of the doubt there. What else what am I seeing? Yeah, mostly just the play calling. Yeah, I would agree, guys. So looking ahead, what do we need to do in order to beat Nebraska next week? Well, we haven't seen Nebraska play, but they are going to have a young quarterback. They're going to have Dylan Raiola out there. So we got to get pressure on him. Make him uncomfortable. One sack will not get the job done. You have Deion Hayes, you have BJ Green, you have Samuel O. Between those guys, we need a little more than what we got. I'm not going to pretend like I was going to do any better. They had 2 sacks, excuse me. They had one from Levante Bentley and then one from Chidozie Nwankwo. I need pressure from Deion Hayes. I need some BJ Green stuff. I need a lot more than what we got. Samuel Kunalola, I don't even think he registered a stat, which is interesting. But we have all these guys, right, where it's like, okay, we brought in all this talent. now we need to see something. And it's like, I didn't see anything. So get pressure on Dylan Raiola, establish a run. I think we gave up on the run. I do. I think Colorado, it felt like last year a little bit where it's like, okay, we tried the run here and there. It didn't work. So now we're just going to throw the ball and then run it whenever at like random times. Don't give up on the run. I don't care if it's Charlie Offerdahl, Dallin Hayden, Isaiah Gustav from Arkansas. I don't care. Someone get physical, let's get physical with the offensive line. Let them feel that feeling of pushing forward. And I don't think we got that. Realistically, another thing that really needs to change is, or not change, but just you can't allow to happen. I mean, you got to get them off the field. They were 6 of 12 for third down, but it felt like they were converting all the time. They were 1 of 1 on fourth down. They just had the ball for 36 minutes, and I don't really know what the fix is for that. You got to force more third and long situations. If they're a run heavy team, you just got to get them off the field. And so for Nebraska, you can't give them extra chances. You can't let Dylan Raiola be comfortable, and the offense needs a little more of the run game. Otherwise, it's going to be unbalanced like it was last year. But overall, great game, Shedeur Sanders. Great game, Jimmy Horn, Travis Hunter. Made some great plays. Defensively, love the second half from them. And not a bad week 1, right? We could kind of, because I think a lot of people were rooting for Colorado to lose that game. They didn't get that result. Colorado's in the win column for the first time since last October, and shake off the rust a little bit, sort of build some chemistry, have some bright moments, some not so bright moments to build on in the meetings, and let's move forward. Let's head on to Lincoln next week and figure things out, right? So very, very solid win. North Dakota State is not a team to scowl at, to look over. They're probably going to contend for an FCS title. So really good showing by Colorado, I think. You guys comment below what you think. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. We're going to have amazing coverage all season long, and you guys won't want to miss it. This has been the very first Locked on Buffs live reaction of the season. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to be talking about the game more in depth, have some more fun, some more takeaways. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share this with a friend. This has been another episode of Locked on Buffs.